Yes, God, yes, God, yes, God. Happy Tuesday, Yes, God family. If you don't know, my name is Megan and I am with Yes, God Wellness, and I am here today to talk about the importance of shutting your mouth. And really, when I talk about shutting your mouth, I am actually referring not just to shutting your mouth, but taking a pause. Because in order for us to be quiet, we need to take a little pause. We need to just because here's the thing, right? And this is something that I've noticed in my own life and in my clients' life is that everyone is running a script, right? We all have this identity in this life. We all have this ego and we all have a perspective from which we view life. And, we have reactions to things, especially triggers when things happen to us that we may not like, that we may not appreciate, that we may be disappointed in. We have a tendency to start a dialogue in our mind about whatever. Oh, this always happens. They always do this. I can't believe, blah, 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 blah. Insert whatever the beliefs are. And so one of the crucial parts of what I teach my clients is the importance of taking a pause, especially in the moment of a trigger. So when you feel something has gotten you upset and you're ready to go off and go in and react and curse somebody out and, curse yourself out or whatever, whoever it is, take a pause. Take a deep breath and give yourself time before you respond. Give yourself time before you start telling yourself a story. And I know that as human beings, we want to soothe ourselves. We want to say, okay, you know what? And it is okay. The only exception to this is if we are telling ourselves, hey, everything is going to work out, everything's going to be fine, just relax, calm down. These are okay. But when I'm talking about shutting our mouths, I'm talking about reacting. I'm talking about responding. Everything does not need a response all the time. And if it does need a response, I can almost guarantee you that a response is going to be a lot more thoughtful, a lot less damaging if we actually give ourselves time to process. And this is something I had to learn in my life because I am a firecracker. Not only am I a Sagittarius, not only am I a fire sign, I'm also a Gemini moon. So I like to and I like to run my trap. Have you tried anticipation of the next trigger? Learning to look forward to the surprise. Prepare. That is an excellent comment. I love that. I have not tried that method actually. My method is just to say that everything always works out perfectly. So no matter what is happening, it's going to work out perfectly. I don't have all the information yet. I don't see all the puzzle pieces yet. So I am going to wait, give myself time, not react, not say anything, not get upset, not respond, not blurt out, not say things that I can't take back. And I am going to give myself time to just shut the up. Look at them cheekbones, girl. You look good. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. I have been working hard. I have been consistent with my fitness goals. I have been consistent with my fasting. I have been consistent and I have been really enjoying the fruits of my labor. So thank you for acknowledging that. So I want to talk about the power of shutting our mouths. And here's the thing that I had to realize. Again, I've always been a firecracker. I've always been someone who can come up with a lot of words real quick. And being a Sagittarius, I can pull that arrow back and I can let it go right in the bullseye. And something about me that I actually love about myself is that I can have someone's jugular right in my hand and I will never crush it because I know the power of that and I know that there's often no coming back from that. I understand that words can be very traumatic. And so this is something that I had to learn in my life, that how about I actually take time to process what I'm going through? How about I actually take time to work it out in myself? I start the day, 3 seconds, pause, 3-second observations of the day. That's gotta go take care. Thank you for joining, Jameson. I really appreciate your feedback. Anybody on TikTok, I would love for y'all to tickety tap, tap, tap that screen. I would love it on Instagram as well. If y'all can show me some love, give me some love. Let me know that you're here. Let me know you're listening. Let me know that you are in tune with what I'm saying. I would love that. Firecracker, you look like the mom from Blackish. Thank you. I'm Zen. Thank God. I've been done a lot of work on that. Hey, you're so beautiful. Thank you. Am I Amish? Absolutely not. What state am I in? I am where I am at. You can't see this comment because I'm using Chinese mobile. I'm using Chinese mobile, really? You have, you love, you love the ghetto people. I'm from the ghetto. I'm hood, baby. Like, let's be clear about that. Any advice for someone who overshares? Yes, for people who overshare, this is again, okay. So that's a great question. Thank you for asking that. For people who overshare, honestly, that is a sign of insecurity, right? That is a sign that we are trying to convince people, we are trying to persuade people. We are basically energetically, from an energetic perspective, oversharing means that we are begging for approval and validation from other people. And so, in order to address that, I would say, first of all, working on our self concept. Okay, looking at ourselves in the mirror when we wake up first thing in the morning and saying things like, I am love, I am perfection, I am all that there is, no one compares to me, I am amazing, I have value, I'm worthy. I'm just joking, Queen. The Chinese mobile thing's popping up everywhere. Yeah, that's weird. What products behind me? Okay, so Yes God Wellness is my brand, and I specialize in something called yoni steaming, which is an ancient technique used for reproductive wellness all around the world for centuries. And that's what I have here. I have different blends based on what it is that women are looking to address. So we have a blend for fertility, we have a blend for postpartum recovery, we have a blend for mental wellness, we have a blend for releasing trauma and soul ties. We have a blend for menopause. We have a blend for libido. You can take the free V-Steam quiz on my website, which is yesgodwellness.com. It should also be linked on all of my social media platforms. Wow, thank you for sharing that. This hit hard. I have an issue with oversharing. Yes, God. So the thing about, again, thank you for bringing me back to that, because there's a lot of different comments in different places. Yes, oversharing is a sign of insecurity. So in order to address our insecurities, what we have to do is we have to start validating ourselves, and we have to start giving ourselves that approval that we're looking for in other people. So I would say, especially for someone who is a natural oversharer, learning how to be quiet, learning how to just hush, and really, again, think about what is your need? Why are you oversharing? What are you trying to convey? What is it that you're trying to convince someone? What are you trying to prove? The only person that you should be trying to prove something to is yourself, because other people's opinions, I know they feel really scary and they feel like they really matter a lot, but the reality is the most important opinion that we carry with us through life is the opinion of ourselves, and it shapes the way that we show up in the world. It shapes the way we show up in relationships. It shapes how we show up at work, in business, in interactions, all the time. When you are a confident person, people can see that, they can feel that. They can feel that before they even see you. Overconfident people do not overshare, and they don't over-explain themselves. They say something once, and if you get it, you get it, and if you don't, you don't. Let's see, where am I from? I am from upstate New York. I love oversharing. That's when you find the real ones. I mean, it depends on context, right? Now, if you're talking about in an intimate situation with someone that you trust, okay, perhaps. I don't know if it would be considered oversharing then. I think it might just be called healthy communication. I believe if you're married and still have a man, I don't know what that has to do with anything. Been there, done that. Are you single? I'm interested. You're oversharing right now. You're beautiful. I like you, cutie. Do you practice medicine or psychology? So I practice, I'm autodidactic. So I teach myself. Yes, I am educated. I do not have a psychology degree, but I have taken psychology courses. So back to oversharing and learning how to be quiet. Quiet is an opportunity. Stopping ourselves in the midst of a trigger is an opportunity for us to process what's going on. What I noticed in my younger years is that when I would blurt out the first thing that came to my mind, or I would try to respond or react to a situation or a conversation that was being had, I was coming from a place of trying to get the last word, trying to be right, trying to get my point across. And again, the only person that really needs to understand and digest your point, the most important person that understands your point is you. And that comes from really taking the time to, again, why am I oversharing? What am I trying to say right now? What is it that I'm trying to express? And, you know, taking the time to be quiet again gives us the time to process within ourselves. So when I would kind of jump back and want to respond and want to kind of get back and say something back and respond and go in and make them feel, and I'm gonna tell them and I'm gonna show them and I'm gonna da 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 da, it was like, okay, but again, whatever I'm saying right now can't be taken back. Let me take the time to process my own stuff. What am I trying to say? What is it that I'm really feeling? Not in the moment, not trying to be right, not trying to win the conversation, but overall in general, what is my perspective on this? And does the opinion, or does this person's buy-in that I'm speaking to, does it really matter? Does it really matter? And yes, it does. When we're talking about interpersonal relationships with our loved ones, with our children, with our significant others, with our friends, with people we care about, yes, it's important for us, I think, to be able to express how we feel and our perspectives to them. But if you're talking about cashiers, you're talking about customer service agents, you're talking about people on the road that are driving crazy, you're talking about people that you may probably I'm never going to see again, how important is it for you to give them a plethora of information or a plethora of feedback when they really don't have any real relevance in your life? Thank you for being Laughter 101. You know what? I love your comments, even though you're trolling me and even though you're being a bit of a jerk. I appreciate your engagement because you're still helping me and you're paying me with your attention, which is the most important currency that you have. So yes, God. The topic today is the importance of shutting our mouths, which some people like Laughter 101 still haven't really gotten the concept of, which is why I'm here sharing about it, is that what is the point of what we're saying? We have to really examine our words. They're very important. Our words create our reality. Our beliefs create our words, and then those beliefs and words also create what we see in life. So if we're spewing negativity, if we're going on people's social media and we're trolling, what it's telling everyone about us, whether we realize it or not, is that we're actually really miserable and we actually don't really have any fulfillment in our own lives because we're projecting that onto other people. And this is why it's so important to be quiet, because we need to take the time to actually ponder and process, okay, is what I'm going to say really reflective of who I am as a person? And if it's not reflective of who I am as a person, then maybe I should change who I am as a person, or maybe I should change what I'm saying. I often take time to think and process so I can speak, yes, but when I do start talking, it passes me off when, it makes me angry. It pisses me off when the receiver cuts me off because I lose my train of thought. Yes, yes. And so, if someone is cutting you off, first and foremost, I would say, the first step would be to reevaluate that connection, because people who respect us, people who care about us, they want to hear what we have to say. They're interested in our perspective. They're interested in our viewpoints. And so again, for me, what I realized what I was doing when I was giving myself time to be quiet before I was responding to people trying to win arguments or trying to win conversations was, you know what, maybe there is a trauma that's informing my response right now. Maybe there is a perspective that I have that is shaped by something horrible that I went through before. Let me work that out in myself. Let me use this trigger and this feeling of anxiety and this feeling of being upset as an opportunity to actually process what's going on inside of me. Because when I can be aware of it and I can process it and I can, work through it, then I am sparing the person who I am speaking to from having to maybe possibly recover from the things that I'm going to say. Okay, let's see. I'm dope. Am I dope? I'm amazing. I'm perfect. I'm wonderful. I'm spectacular, phenomenal, brilliant. Yes, God. Let's just go for gold and blurt stuff out and ride the wave. I mean, how's that working for you? That's what I would say. Whatever you're doing, how is it working for you? My opinion of depression or ADHD or bipolar disorder. So that's an interesting question. I think that Those are, absolutely real things. I think that unfortunately, mental health is a topic that I don't personally have experience with as far as dealing with myself. I do have loved ones that have mental health issues. And I believe that it is important to really, really be aware of yourself and really utilize the resources that are out there. Now, as a whole general principle, I don't necessarily believe, and I'm not gung-ho about the pharmaceutical system. However, I do think there are certain things that we need the Western medical system for. For example, if I break my leg, I'm going to go and have them cast me up. If I need surgery, I'm not going to try and do that at home with herbs. But I think with those particular disorders, it's important to first and foremost be aware of yourself and utilize resources. We are really blessed and privileged to live in the technology age where we have so much access to information, so much access to resources. And I think that we can still, people can still live very robust and full lives dealing with mental illness, with supplementing with other solutions. I like, subscribed, and I hit the bell. Thank you. I'm a first-time viewer. Love your live. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Have you ever felt like a burden for everyone? Perhaps when I was younger, I would feel that way. But again, if we're talking anything that we're discussing that we're feeling like a burden, we're feeling like we're not enough, we're feeling like we're not good enough, we're feeling like, we're too much. I think those are all issues of our self-concept. And again, the opinion that we have of ourselves, the way that we view ourselves and the way that we see ourselves is what we're going to project onto other people. So if we're walking around life thinking that we're a burden, thinking that we're too much, we are unconsciously going to project that out to other people, and other people are going to view us that same way. So this is why it's very important to, again, my suggestion is to start waking up a little bit earlier in the morning before you're used to. Take that time. When you first wake up in the morning, do not grab your phone. That is the last thing that you should be doing, is grabbing your phone and starting to consume what everyone else has going on, the highlights of everybody else's life. We should be waking up. We should be taking time to get still within ourselves. First and foremost, expressing gratitude. God, thank you for waking me up this morning. Thank you for allowing me to experience a new day. Thank you for allowing me to be new in this day. Thank you for giving me the choice to have a perspective. Thank you for allowing me to choose to be amazing, choose to be wonderful, choose to view everything as working out for me. Thank you for allowing me. And then go in the mirror after you have your gratitude, whether you're writing it down. I'm also a huge fan of journaling. I also have affirmations and coaching available in my link in my description. So feel free to check that out. But really fortifying your self-concept will take you so far, because again, the way that we view ourselves, the concept that we have of our own self, is what we are subconsciously going to project out, and other people are going to view us that way. So if we think we're amazing, we think we're wonderful, we think we're great, guess what? People are going to start viewing us the same way. If we think we're trash, if we think we have bad luck, if we think everybody always leaves us, if we think, all men are this or all women are that, guess what? These things are going to prove themselves to be true. Whatever we believe is true. And I know it's difficult when we're in a low point in our lives, or when we're in a crisis in our lives, to not be able to not understand that we have a choice in our thoughts, right? Even if I say I'm amazing, I'm wonderful, and the subconscious is like, girl, you ain't. No, you're not. No, you're not. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Just like if you listen to a song, you hear it as many, so many times, you are going to start humming that. It's going to start being printed on you, okay? It's the same thing with how you're speaking to yourself. How to stop procrastination instantly: make a decision. I love getting things done. I love doing things immediately. I love doing what I say I'm going to do. I have so much respect for myself because my word is my bond, and I never break my word to myself. Literally, manifestation is a decision. It is a decision. That's what it is. It's deciding that this is who I am now, and that's the end. And I'm not doing anything that is not in alignment with who I've decided that I am. Hey, girly. Hey, curly Q. I think that's supposed to say curly Q. We are addicted to phones, so not picking phone the first thing in the morning is impossible. It's not impossible. If you believe it's impossible, it's impossible. It's not impossible for me because I specifically put my phone away from my bed. It's not within my reach. And when I wake up in the morning, again, I'm laying there and I'm thinking, I am so grateful for this bed. I am so grateful for this home. I'm so grateful that it's warm. I'm so grateful that I have a toilet that I can walk to and use the restroom. I'm so grateful that I have a phone. I'm so grateful that, a list of gratitude. I'm so grateful that I'm in my right mind. I'm so grateful that I can get up and walk. I'm so grateful that I have clothes that I can put on. I'm so grateful that I have food to eat. Even the smallest minuscule things. I love the way my bed feels. I love how the temperature is perfect right now. I love my pillows. I love just go on a rampage of gratitude. I couldn't concentrate. Sometimes it feels too worthless. I overthink a lot and I can't get good sleep. So I was thinking to go see someone to talk to. So again, I do offer coaching. However, I would say right now in this moment, you can decide, you know what? I can concentrate. I have wonderful focus. I sleep well every night. And just like we shouldn't be picking our phone up first thing in the morning, we also should not be falling asleep on our phone, in bed on the phone. The bed is for resting. The bed is for rejuvenating. So we have to start training ourselves not to be on that phone in bed, okay? Because that is one of the worst possible ways for us to fall asleep is just getting off the phone and then trying to go to sleep. Or, having the TV and trying to go to sleep, because whatever is playing on that phone, whatever's playing in those songs that you're listening to, whatever's playing in the the shows that you're watching, the series, the Netflix, whatever it is, those things are being imprinted on your subconscious mind and they do affect you. You can still hear while you're sleeping, even though you might not be aware of it. Just the way your heart continues to beat while you're sleeping, just the way your lungs continue to breathe, you still have a whole autonomous system that is automatically going. And so it's very important what we are consuming, not just what we're eating, what we're listening to, what we're speaking, what we're thinking about, okay? Another hack is go outside and take a walk. Go outside and take a walk. Leave your phone in your pocket or don't even take your phone with you in the first place. Let's see. Our world is a reflection of our subconscious mind. Yes, God. Yes, Dr. Corey Beth. Unfortunately, most people aren't aware of the subconscious mind. Exactly. And that's what my mission and my goal is, to share and make people aware of the fact that we have a subconscious mind. Just like, an example is when we are in the market for something, right? If we decided, hey, I saved up some money, I'm going to go get this particular purse or these shoes or whatever it is that we want, right? We have a tendency to start noticing a lot more when other people have it. That's because of our reticular activating system. It's a part of the brain that is a filter. And once we tell it what we want it to filter and pay attention to, we are going to start noticing it more. And this is why affirmations and right thinking are so important, because whatever we are telling ourselves, if we're joking, if we're, and actually let's talk about jokes for a minute. Jokes, people try to disguise a lot of morbidity and a lot of like dark stuff in humor. And the reality is, energetically, there's no such thing as humor. Whatever you're saying out of your mouth is literal. So when you're joking about negative things and when you're joking about, horrible things happening, it's not funny. And actually what you're doing is you're creating those negative things to show up in your reality. How often do you go live on YouTube? I have been going live every couple days. My goal is to go live at least every other day, if not daily. I was asking you about your options about ADHD and bipolar disorder or depression, because those disorders have similar symptoms, and I was thinking to get checked out. I mean, I would definitely, seek your resources, seek help. I'm not sure if this is a man or a woman speaking to me, but if this is a woman, for any and all women, I highly, highly, highly recommend steaming. Highly recommend steaming, yoni steaming, because it is a way for you to get in touch with yourself, to go inwards. So many times in this society, we want to go outwards. Let me take this off because now I'm getting hot. So many times in life, we are focused on what's going on outside of us. We're focused on a screen. We're focused on another person. We're focused on money. We're focused on, we're focused on everything else other than ourselves. And so getting still with ourselves and going inside is something that I really didn't get a firm grasp on until I started yoni steaming about 11 years ago. And that was a game changer for me. That really allowed me to release a lot of trauma. I didn't realize how powerful herbs were until I started yoni steaming, and still I actually experienced it. And I realized that all of these things, especially as women, we store a lot of trauma and a lot of pain and resentment and emotions in our womb space. So yoni steaming is something that can absolutely be a catalyst to facilitate allowing those things to come out, because whatever we're holding on to and suppressing is going to come out anyways. It's literally bursting at the seams in all of our interactions. So it's important to address those things. This is why it's important to go to therapy, get a life coach, expose yourself to new information, expose yourself to ways of processing your emotions and your traumas. Being grateful is a vibrational resonance. Yes, God, absolutely. When we're grateful, we vibrate at a frequency that it can raise our overall vibration. Yes, it's responsible for over 95% of what we think, feel, say, and do. Yes, absolutely. Words are spells. That's why it's called spelling. Exactly. And so that's the thing. When we start our day with gratitude and we kind of carry that energy through the day, we are actually magnetizing more things to be grateful for. So imagine that, I'll give an example that I've given before. Truth and Jess. Yes, Brandy. I see you on IG. So there's a wonderful book that really changed my life called Levels of Energy by Frederick Dotson. Highly recommend it to anyone. He also has another book called Parallel Universes of Self. Highly recommend it. Levels of energy, he talks about an analogy of a deaf waiter, okay? And so this deaf waiter and you as the customer, right? If you walk into a restaurant and you have a waiter that's coming over trying to take your order, and you take the menu, right? And you point to all the things that you don't want. Well, I can't eat this. I have a dairy allergy and I have this allergy. Now, what is the waiter going to, the waiter is deaf, so they can't hear you. So they're going to say, okay, you're pointing to that. You want that. Okay, you want that. You want that. It's the same thing with our thoughts and our words, right? So what we have to understand is that whatever we are focusing on and giving our attention to, we are telling the universe that we want more of it. Okay, this is quantum physics too, by the way. This is like actually scientifically backed. All right. There's been tons of experiments done. If you've seen the rice experiment, where they had 3 containers of rice, and depending on the words they spoke to the rice did completely different things. Okay. So just remember that analogy whenever you're speaking, whenever you're joking. Okay, whatever you're doing, imagine that all of those things are literal and that you are going to see them manifest within an hour. Okay, let's see. I am 12 years old and I'm experiencing depressions at times. I do feel happy or very angry. I did have suicidal thoughts, which I did have intentionally doing it. I'm so sorry about that. I think you, as 12 years old, you should definitely put that phone down. I have 2 exams in 46 days and I'm so distracted by urges to see phone and open YouTube and spend whole day on it without stuttering. I wonder if you have some advice that can help me. Give yourself some structure. Don't take YouTube and the phone completely away, but give yourself some guidelines around it and say, okay, you know what? I am going to study for 20 minutes and then I'm going to give myself 5 minutes on my phone. And then I'm going to study for 20 more minutes, and then I'm going to give myself 5 minutes on the phone. We don't have to be so extreme. We don't have to be so drastic. We can set up parameters and set up boundaries for ourselves. Okay, and I wanted to know about the options of what doctors say. I don't know, sweetie. You're going to have to go to a doctor to see. I am not a doctor. You're welcome. You're a woman, by the way. Okay, wonderful. So I know we kind of went off on a couple different tangents, but that's fine. That's what I love about live, is that, we are all here together having a conversation. It's not just me talking to the camera. But again, the power of being quiet when we want to say something or we want to respond to another person or we want to be right. There is so much power in that. Also, even if we want to respond to a situation that happened, or an event that happened, or a conversation or a text message we received, or an email we received, or bad news that we received, giving ourselves the opportunity and the gift of silence allows us to calm down, and it really allows us to shift our perspective. Okay. And that's required. As a human being, we have a default mode network in our brain, which is that monkey mind that's constantly going, constantly going, constantly going. It's always telling you, reminding you, did you forget to do this? Did you remember to do that? Remember when you were 4 years old and this happened? Remember when you and your ex did this? Remember that? Like all of those things that are going through your mind, those are a culmination of the default mode network kind of just randomly picking things up. And this is why it's so important to be intentional about the things that we're saying and the things that we're thinking, and really command. Okay, Neville Goddard has a book called At Your Command, and it is incredible. And really, we have the power to command ourselves. We have the power to command our realities. Let's see. I do the same, but those 5 minutes expands to 10 to 12 hours. And I sleep with guilt every night, believing tomorrow will be my day. You need to make a decision. It's a decision that you have to make. I am going to pass this exam. Okay, so I'll give you from the Neville Goddard perspective, right? From the Neville Goddard perspective, you would imagine yourself, give yourself 5 minutes every night, 5 to 10 minutes, preferably at night and in the morning, and imagine yourself telling whoever you would tell about this. Joshi, I gotta call you back. Imagine yourself telling whoever you would tell, oh my God, I passed my exam. I did so good. I got an A. I did so good. I got an A. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I can't believe it. I can't believe I was procrastinating and I actually wound up getting an A. This is amazing. This is the best news ever. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. So instead of worrying about how it's going to happen, give yourself permission to live from the end. Give yourself permission to visualize and imagine the scene and get into the feeling of what it's going to feel like once you finally pass. Because I can tell you right now, from the things that you've been saying on this live, you are giving way too much attention to failure. You're giving way too much attention to failure. You got to stop. This is what I'm talking about with shutting our mouths and thinking about the importance of our words. Because every single line that you've typed on this line is indicating that it's going to be a bad result, a bad outcome. Let's think about what a good outcome is. A good outcome is that I passed. It's amazing. Everything's wonderful. I get to tell my good news to my parents, to my friends, to my family, whoever. So start there. And then once you give yourself that awareness of that state of consciousness of having been successful, the ways in which will be revealed to you. You will find yourself making new decisions. You will find yourself in a new mindset. You will find yourself being compelled. And this is the beauty of mental magic, is that you can decide what it is that you're going to have, do, or be, and then you will find yourself being compelled in that direction. Okay? So the first and foremost thing you need to do is stop saying that you can't put your phone down. Okay? A lot of unemployed Black folks on live YouTube. Oh, thank you for your comment. Thank you for your attention. That is really sweet. Watching your live is the best way to start my day. I'm feeling very blessed and grateful and motivated to be better. Yes, God! Even if you don't pass, school's not that important anyways, being the mid-20th century. Well, I mean, you know, it all depends. That's relative. But if the goal is to pass, then I think the decision is that I'm going to pass. The decision is that I am now the person who passes. So the person who has passed this exam, what type of habits does this person have? And again, this comes back to the self-concept. Who am I being? Who am I now? We have the ability to change identities, right? We actually do change identities millions of times a day, right? There are infinite realities that we have access to. There are lots of parallel realities, lots of versions in ourselves in different universes that we can tap into. But all we have to do is decide, this is who I am now. This is the timeline that I'm now on. I am a successful student. I pass all my classes. I do what I say I'm going to do. I run my phone. My phone does not run me. Hey, just wanted to pop in and spread the word. that Gaza is finally getting a ceasefire. Oh my God, if that is true, yes, God. Yes, 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 God. Can you speak on the double slit experiment of quantum mechanics? No, I can't. I don't really have too much information or background to speak on that at this point in time, but I will look it up. I will look that up. I don't know if I've actually ever heard of that. Yes, God. Yes, it is. Hopefully in a couple days, the ceasefire will commence. Oh, that would be amazing. You are role modeling for us in how to handle haters and negative people by focusing on the positive they do provide. Yes, God, thank you. And this is it. So thank you for saying that. And that's the thing, again, as human beings, we are only always projecting. The only thing that we're ever doing is showing our hand. So just like when you cut open an orange, the only thing that can come out is orange juice. Whatever we are speaking out of our mouths is what's inside of us. So if people have negative and, crazy nonsense things to say and violent things to say, I feel compassion for them and I pray for them and I want them to have a better self-concept of themselves. I want them to know that they are extremely powerful, infinite beings that have the power to choose to be anyone they want to be. And it makes me sad to see that that's what they're choosing. But I will also hold them up in my morning prayer and I will pray for them that they will have the awareness and the consciousness that they can be, do, and have anything they want. Can you pray for my healing? Been stuffing last 7 months with random dizziness and exercise intolerance. Doctors have no idea what's going on. Extreme social anxiety out of nowhere. Absolutely, I will. Absolutely, I will. We can do it right now. God, I pray that you would touch this person's life and touch anyone's life who is ever watching this video. We pray that you would give them supernatural miracles of healing. We pray that you would allow them to feel energetic. You would allow them to feel whole. You would allow them to feel complete. Yes, God. Thank you for being so positive, spreading sunlight with your smile. Thank you. You have such positive vibes and energy. Much love. Thank you so much. It has to do with how consciousness can exist separately from matter. I see. Okay. Yes, God. Yes, God. That's all up my alley. I'm definitely going to look that up. I pray we stop sending other countries our hard-earned money when it should be for thy neighbor. Pray for that. I mean, I don't necessarily... That is something that I pray that everyone, again, I pray that everyone gets their heart's desires. And the reality of the situation is you are going to get your heart's desires. But, that to me, what I see in that comment is a limiting belief. I believe that there's enough money and there's enough abundance to go around. And as much as we import products from other countries, I don't even really see how that comment makes a lot of sense. But again, to each their own. I will pray that you have an opening in your consciousness, an opening in your awareness, an opening for compassion. Because our country is actually, in the US, we're pretty selfish. We're pretty selfish, we're pretty condescending, and we're pretty self-righteous. And so, what my prayer is that Americans would elevate and open and expand their consciousness and their mindsets. That would be what my response is to that prayer. Okay. With that being said, I am going to take my own advice and I am going to go outside and take a walk because that is something that I committed to doing. I want to get some natural vitamin D and let the sun soak me up. I have been pouring in and I hope that you have received something valuable. I hope that you will continue to connect with me, whether you're on TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram, which will probably go over to Facebook. So Facebook too. I love you all. I am praying that that divine order is now established in your mind, body, and affairs, whatever that may mean to you. All right. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here, and we will talk soon.